Yo, YouTube. I kind of want to do things a little bit more differently this time, cause I know last video I talked about my workouts and my sets and my reps or whatnot. But this video, I kind of just want to let y'all see what I do in the clips, and you know, I just want to talk about my reason for starting, my motivations and just life in general. All right, so hopefully I enjoy that. But honestly, I don't even know where to start. Um, okay, so let me just start. Let me just start at the beginning. Um, so my reason for starting, and I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. Like really transparent. So my reason for working out was mostly because of my depression. Right, I was really depressed, and I was 17 when I started working out. All right, but even before that, I was like 14 when I first felt depression, and at that age, I was battling suicidal thoughts. Right, I was just going through it, and I was going to school too at that time, so it was just it just wasn't good. Right, my life just wasn't good, and I was just suffering internally. And at one point, like I could hide it, and like I was no 13 was when I was depressed, right? But I was hiding it, right? Like I didn't want nobody to know that I was actually depressed, right? And I was doing pretty good too, right? But at 14, that's when it like finally like took over, right? That's when it finally manifested, and um like my outward appearance can't talk, but my outward appearance just it started to show like someone that's sad, right? And everyone just started asking like, yo, you good? Yo, what's happening? And every time they ask, I would just say like, yeah, I'm okay. And I feel like at that time, like, cause I was not emotionally intelligent at that time, right? So I feel like I didn't even know I was depressed. But now when I look back, like I could, like I noticed, like I realized like I was really depressed. Um, well, later in at that age, cause 14, right? I was 14 when I just turned 14. That's when like my face started to change and everything. But when I was about to turn 15, that's when I started getting suicidal thoughts, right? I started feeling suicidal, and I just, yeah, like I was going through it, right? And I even tried to take my life, right? I tried to take my life twice, but thankfully that didn't happen, right? But the depression, like it would come, right? It would come. It was especially like really strong at the age of 14, but no 16. But 14, yeah, it was pretty bad at 14, right? But 15, when I turned 15, it kind of went away, right? But you see, it like when it went away, my anxiety, cause I struggle with anxiety as well, right? So I turned 15 in 2020, and at that age, at the age of 15, that was like that was the age where I first experienced anxiety. I didn't even know what anxiety was until like I felt it. I felt what it was like, and like, bro, when I tell you like it was like really like bad, right? Cause that was my first time, and I didn't know what was going on. It's like my heart was like beating so fast, and my body was just shaking. My voice was just quake. Like, bro, it was horrible, and yeah, like I didn't even know like what it was, because I thought I was like having a panic attack or like a seizure or something, but that wasn't the case, obviously. But you know after that, and I would battle these feelings silently, right? I wouldn't talk to anybody because I was kind of lonely at those ages, right? But at 16, my depression came back, right? And when I tell you, like, my depression, it came back so hard, right? Like, it was 10 times stronger than what it was at the age of 14. And at the age of 14, like, it was bad, right? When I was 14, like, my depression was bad at that age. But somehow it got even worse when I turned 16. So yeah, I would have to deal with that, and I would have to just live with that, right? And I was going to school too, so I couldn't just skip school and I couldn't just drop out, right? Because my dad's Haitian, so you know how Haitians be when it comes to school. But anyway, I was going through that, and it wasn't until I was about to turn 17. Yeah, 17. I was about to turn 17. That's when things finally changed for me. For those of y'all that don't know, I am a Christian, right? I'm a serious Christian. And that didn't start until that time that I just mentioned, right? Because I was going through it, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. Like, I can remember it so vividly, right? So this is how it started, right? I was laying down on my sofa in my living room, and that's where I slept at that time, because I just couldn't sleep in my room, and so I would go on my sofa, right? And I remember I was scrolling on my phone. I was doom scrolling, and I could feel, like, when I tell you, I felt his presence so strongly. Till this day, I haven't felt his presence like that. Well, obviously I have, but like that time, like that time was just so, like, that time when I felt it, like, it's just something about that time, because it's my first time, right? But when I felt it, like, it's like, if it's like I felt it in my veins, like I could feel it inside of my body, right? Like, it felt like a fresh wind was just like, just flowing in me. That's exactly how it felt. Like, it felt like a river was just, flowing through me. Like, I felt, and then not only that, like, I could feel the peace that it brought, right? I could feel the peace that his presence, that God's presence brought, when it came, right? And bro, when I tell you, it felt so good. It felt so good. And then his presence, as like, it was also, it was manifesting, right? But at the same time, like, it's like I couldn't hear, but I could feel, like, his presence just inviting me to follow him, to serve him. And when I tell you, like, without hesitation, I immediately, accepted his invitation. I immediately said yes. And I ever since then, I never looked back. And when I tell you, like, from then on out, my life has just been getting better and better, right? And that's also where my fitness journey started. Right? I was 17, and I just felt the need to just better myself, and I feel like that was God's presence. That was his his spirit, right? For just inviting me to better myself, and just to get in the gym, or I work out at home, so just work out, right? And yeah, so far so good, man. Everything is just getting better, and I'm just very thankful, right? Yeah, here's the pump. And yeah, that's pump. I ain't gonna lie, I look crazy right now, but yeah, that's the pump. I also got this verse for y'all. You know, it's a little verse that um I can relate to, right? And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I'll see y'all in the next one.